Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the second day of the 67th annual Ogden Surgical Medical Society meeting, Society Conference, entitled Dermatology and Primary and Specialty Medicine. Appreciate all those of you who participated in yesterday's meetings. And welcome to those of you today who are here for the first time this week. Today there's a variety of social events. First of all, it's the revival of the Ladies Social. There's a luncheon and fashion show that's sponsored by the Weber County Medical Society and Alliance, as well as the UMA Financial Services. All partners and guests are invited. That'll take place from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Timber Lodge. Tonight is the President's Reception that is sponsored by the Ogden Regional Medical Center. It'll be held at 6:30 p.m. in the Union Station's Old Timers Room, and it'll feature singers Jamie Hartley and Pam Cannon. Please pick up your tickets for your registration tickets, and if you have reserved those tickets, they'll be available at the front desk today. Tonight also is the Utah Academy of Family Physicians annual meeting, and there's a reception and dinner that starts at 5:30 p.m. downstairs in the junior ballroom. There's still a lot of room that's still available for the golf tournament, the Ogden Clinic, Ogden Surgical Medical Society combined golf tournament tomorrow night, Friday night at El Monte. If you're interested in this, you can sign up at the registration desk. We also appreciate you for considering parking in the junction. Here the parking is limited at the garage behind the conference center. The conference center actually doesn't own the garage. They just rent some spaces, and there are only a limited number of parking spaces available. So if you run out of parking, the overflow is at the junction. Also, when we move from this location into the other ballroom, B through E, behind here, we encourage you and remind you to take all of your belongings with you, as these doors will be locked as they prepare for lunch, as lunch is prepared. If you happen to lose an item, don't fret too much. They'll all be taken to the front desk, and you'll be able to retrieve them later. And then the other thing is that all of these sessions are being recorded, and they're being recorded for the benefit of our members who are unable to attend today, or those that are here and are interested in listening to, re-listening to some of the talks that have been given. And so if you decide to ask a question, if you shout it out from the audience, it's not going to make it onto the audio. So it facilitates us being able to record these proceedings if you can go to one of the microphones, and it can be recorded for the betterment of our members. And then also, we'd like to remind you to vibrate, put all cell phones on vibrate, or silence, or off. And then the Ogden Surgical Medical Society also extends our sympathy to the family and friends of our 4 colleagues who have passed away since last meeting. Their presence and contribution will be greatly missed. These physicians' lives were celebrated successes by the absolute highest standards. First, Clayton Robert Gabbert, MD, was born on August 28, 1933, in Ogden, Utah, and he passed away on July 22nd. He graduated from Ogden High School, earned his associate degree at Weber State College, his bachelor's in medical degree at the University of Utah. He completed his internship at McCady Hospital, or at D Hospital, and his residency in orthopedic surgery at the Mayo Clinic. He was given the honor of being a permanent position at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, but chose to return instead to Ogden to practice in his hometown. He completed a distinguished professional career in 1998 when he retired, embracing this phase of his life with the fullest of his passions of traveling, trap shooting, hiking, bridging, and golf. He is survived by his wife, Kayla, of 56 years, and his 4 children. Past president of the Ogden Surgical Medical Society in 1969, Dr. Keith Alfred Strafford was born on December 6, 1916 in Ogden, Utah, and passed away September 30th, 2011. He graduated from Ogden High School and at the University of Utah. His medical training was received at Louisiana State Medical State University Medical School in New Orleans, Louisiana. His internship was at Hospital Hotel Dieu, New Orleans, Louisiana, and surgical training was at Charity Hospital, also in New Orleans. He spent 5 years in the U.S. Army as captain and chief of surgery at Fort Irwin, California. He was extremely active in community affairs. He was a member of the AAFP and practiced for 42 years as a family physician and general surgeon, and 40 years as division surgeon for the Union Pacific and Southern Pacific Railroads in Ogden until he retired in 1986. He is survived by 5 children. Dr. Michael John Healy, MD, was born March 30th, 1947 in Ogden, Utah, and he passed away February 19th, 2012. He received his Bachelor of Science from Weber State College and an MD from George Washington Medical School in Washington, D.C. He completed his residency in obstetrics and gynecology at St. Joseph's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. Following that, he served as an Army physician in Bremerhaven, West Germany. He then returned to the Ogden-Davis area and set up his OBGYN practice. He loved his job and delivered around 6,000 babies, including my only boy, during his 30 years of practice. He loved scouting, backpacking in the UNS, hiking, falconry, scuba diving, nature photography, and he is survived by his 7 children. Charles L. Pennington was born MD was born January 22nd, 1922 in Salt Lake City and passed away March 3rd, 2012. He graduated from South High School and Western Electric College on a scholarship and obtained a first-class radio operator's license. He worked as a transmitter operator and newsman in Arizona and New Mexico. He returned to Salt Lake City in 1942 and enlisted in the Navy Air Cadet program. He was assigned to the South Pacific, where he piloted patrols over the South China Sea. He was awarded 5 Air Medals and the Distinguished Flying Cross. After the war, he worked part-time in the Salt Lake City radio station KDYL as a newsman and engineer. He started classes at the University of Utah in 1946 and was accepted to medical school in 1949. Received his medical degree in 1952 and completed an internship in 1954. His residency was completed in 1955 at the D Hospital in Ogden. He started his general practice in 1955 in Roy, Utah, and kept his practice until 1966 when he became a founding member of the first full-time emergency medicine contract group in the Intermountain area. He continued to work in the McCady emergency room until his retirement in 1983. He loved to travel, he loved to fish, and he loved to ski. He was blessed with 2 long and loving marriages, and he is survived by 6 of his children. I'd like to just take a moment and remember these. It's just a short moment of silence. Thank you. We have just a few moments before we'll begin, so finish eating and visit if you like.